Hello students, in this video let us learn how to prepare balance sheet of the company by calculating various ratios. So here we have a problem, a company having a net working capital of rupees 2.8 lakhs as on 30th 6 2014. They have given net working capital that is 2.8 lakhs, which means 2,80,000, indicates the following financial ratios and performance figures. They have given some of the ratios and some of the performance of the performance figures of the company. They have given current ratio, which expresses the relationship between current assets and current liabilities, that is 2.4. Here 2.4 is current asset and is current liability will be 1. 2.4 is to 1. Then liquidity ratio they have given. Liquidity ratio expresses the relationship between quick assets and quick liabilities, that is 1.6 is to 1. Here 1.6 represents the quick assets and 1 represents quick liabilities. And they have given inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio is nothing but stock turnover ratio. Clearly they have stated that on cost of sales is nothing but cost of goods sold, that is 8 times. So they have given gross profit on sales will be 20% and credit allowed in months they have given 1.5 months. Credit allowed is required for the purpose of calculation of debtors. Then they have given the company's fixed assets is equivalent to 90% of its net worth. So here as per this problem, net worth is equal to share capital plus reserves. So it will be equals to 90% of the net worth. So while reserve amounted to 40% of share capital. So first we need to find out the share capital, then we need to find out reserves, then we can find out the fixed assets value, because fixed asset is 90% of net worth. So as per this problem, net worth is equal to share capital plus reserves. So then we are required to prepare the balance sheet of the company as on 30th 6 2014, showing the step-by-step calculations. So now let us learn how to calculate various ratios and how to prepare the balance sheet. Here the first calculation will be calculation of current assets and current liabilities. So if we want to calculate current assets and current liabilities, we need to apply current ratio formula. They have given current ratio, that is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. We know the current ratio, that is 2.4 is equal to current assets. We don't know the value of current assets. In the same way, we don't know the value of current liabilities. So if we make a cross multiplication, it will be equals to current liabilities into 2.4 is equal to current assets. That means current assets is equal to 2.4 times of the current liabilities. Therefore, net working capital is equal to current assets minus current liabilities. We know the difference between current assets and current liabilities will be called as the net working capital. So if we apply net working capital formula, because they have given net working capital amount, so by using this we can calculate current assets and current liabilities. So therefore current assets will be 2.4 times of current liabilities. So as per application of the current ratio formula, we got to know that current assets will be 2.4 times of current liabilities. So current here net working capital formula will be current assets minus current liabilities. Therefore, in the place of current assets, we can write 2.4 times of current liabilities minus current liabilities is equal to 2,80,000 is net working capital given in the problem. So if we deduct current liabilities from the 2.4 times of current liabilities, we will get 1.4 times of current liabilities is equal to 2,80,000. Therefore, current liabilities will be 2,80,000 divided by 1.4. It will be equals to 2 lakh. So here current liabilities is equal to 2 lakh rupees. If current liability is equal to 2 lakh rupees, as per this calculation, current assets will be 2.4 times of current liabilities. Therefore, current assets is equal to 2.4 times of current liabilities, that is 2.4 into 2 lakh, 4,80,000 is the value of current assets. So if you divide current assets and current liabilities, that is 4,80,000 divided by 2 lakh, you will get 2.4 times. So if you get 2.4 times, then your calculation is correct. If you get more than or less than 2.4, then you have made a mistake somewhere. So then second calculation will be calculation of stock. We know the liquid assets is equal to current assets minus stock and minus prepaid expenses. So in this problem we have to assume only stock is the liquid asset given in the problem. So here they have given liquidity ratio. So by using this we can calculate the stock value, because we know the value of current assets and value of current liabilities in as per the previous calculation. Therefore liquidity ratio is 1.6 times is equal to current asset value is 4,80,000 minus stock. Here quick asset is equal to current assets minus stock. Current asset is 4,80,000 less stock divided by current liabilities or quick liabilities. Here we need to assume these current liabilities as quick liabilities, because no bank overdraft is given in the problem. Therefore the current liabilities will become quick liabilities. So if we cross multiply, it will become 2 lakh into 1.6 is equal to 4,80,000 minus stock. So therefore stock will be 4,80,000 minus 3,20,000. If you multiply 2 lakh with 1.6, you will get 3,20,000. So 4,80,000 is current assets. So from current assets, if you deduct the current liabilities, in this is quick liabilities, then the difference will be 1,60,000. That amount is the value of the stock. Then after calculation of the stock, next we need to calculate cost of sales or cost of goods sold. So by using inventory turnover ratio. Inventory turnover ratio is given in the problem, that is 8 times. So the formula for calculation of inventory turnover ratio is equal to cost of sales divided by average stock or stock. In this problem they have not given opening stock and closing stock, so we need to take stock for the purpose of calculation of inventory turnover ratio. So we know the value of stock and the value of inventory turnover ratio. By using this we can calculate cost of sales. So here 8 is inventory turnover ratio, stock is 1,60,000. If we make the cross multiplication, we will get 12,80,000. that is the value of cost of sales. So then they have stated that the gross profit is 20% of sales, but we don't know the value of sales, but we know the value of cost of sales or COGS. So this percentage has to be converted on the cost of goods sold. It can be converted in such a way that if GP is 20% on sales, on COGS it will be 20 divided by 100 minus 20. It will be 20 by 80 or 25%, because 20% on sales is given, but we don't know the value of sales, but we know the value of cost of sales or COGS. So it has to be converted on cost of goods sold. So if we deduct 100 minus 20, it will be 20 by 80. So if you convert into the percentage, it will be equals to 25%. Now we can calculate gross profit. So by multiplying 25% with the cost of goods sold. So cost of goods sold or cost of sale is 12,80,000 into 25%. It will be equals to 3,20,000. That is the gross profit. So now we can calculate the total sales by adding gross profit to the cost of sales, because sales is equal to cost of goods sold plus gross profit. So here cost of sales representing the cost of goods sold. If we add this 3,20,000, we will get 16 lakh. This is the value of the sales. So next, after calculation of the sales value, we need to calculate the debtors value, because they have given average collection period. So average collection period formula is debtors divided by credit sales into months in a year. So average collection period is 1.5 months is given in the problem. Debtors, we don't know the value of debtor. Credit sales is 16 lakh. This sale has to be assumed as credit sale because they have not given cash sale in the problem. So we should assume this whole 16 lakh is credit sale into 12 months. So 1.5 months is equal to debtors divided by 16 lakh into 12. So if you make a cross multiplication, it will be 16 lakh into 1.5 and debtors into 12. So 12 debtors is equal to 16 lakh into 1.5, you will get 24 lakh. So if you want to calculate debtors, 24 lakh divided by 12, it will be equals to 2 lakh rupees. That is the value of the debtor. So after calculation of the value of debtor, we can calculate the value of the cash. So total current asset, we know the value of the total current asset value. Then we know the value of stock and we know the value of debtors, and we should assume the difference in the left out amount as the balance of cash. So here current asset is equal to 4,80,000. Stock, we have calculated that 1,60,000, and debtor is 2 lakh rupees, and the difference will be the cash balance. So if you did that 1,60,000 and 2 lakh from 4,80,000, you will left out with the 1,20,000 rupees. It will be considered as cash balance. So next, after calculation of the cash balance, next we need to calculate the value of fixed assets. In the problem, they have clearly stated that fixed asset is equal to 90% of the net worth, and also they have clearly stated that net worth is total of capital plus reserve. And also we can write this net worth as fixed assets plus net working capital. So fixed asset is the 90% of net worth. If we convert it to decimal, it will be 0.9%. Here we should assume it as 1. So 1 is equal to 0.9 net worth plus 2,80,000, that is net working capital. So if you deduct, in the sense here we have the one net worth. One net worth is equal to 0.9 net worth, that is fixed asset, plus net working capital. So if you bring common factors into one side, so here you will get 1 net worth minus 0.9 net worth. So you will left with the 0.1 net worth is equal to 2,80,000. Therefore net worth is equal to 2,80,000 divided by 0.1. You will get 28 lakh, that is total net worth. So if total net worth is 28 lakh, then the fixed asset will be 90% of the total net worth. 28 lakh into 90%, you will get 25 lakh 20,000, that is fixed asset. So after calculation of the value of fixed asset, we need to calculate the capital and reserve balance. So net worth is capital plus reserve, that is 28 lakh. We have already calculated here. So reserve, they have clearly stated that 40% of capital. Therefore capital plus 40% of capital is equal to 28 lakh. Here this 0.4 capital is representing reserve because reserve is 40% of capital. So here the total of capital and reserve is equal to the net worth value. So net worth is 28 lakh, capital we don't know the value of capital, and reserve is 40% of capital is equal to 28 lakh. So capital plus reserve is equal to 1.4. Here capital is representing 1 plus 0.4, 1.4 capital is equal to 28 lakh. Therefore capital is equal to 28 lakh divided by 1.4, you will get 20 lakh. So if you arrive the value of capital, it is easy to calculate the value of reserve because it is 40% of capital. If the capital value is 20 lakh, then the reserve balance will be 20 lakh into 40%, that is 8 lakh rupees. So after calculating all this, we need to prepare the balance sheet. So under liabilities, we know the value of share capital, that is 20 lakh, reserve 8 lakh, and current liabilities we have calculated 2 lakh rupees. Then under asset side, first we need to transfer fixed assets. Here we have calculated fixed assets 25 lakh 20,000. Then stock balance, we have calculated that 1,60,000 here. Then debtors balance, we have calculated 2 lakh rupees, and cash balance we have calculated 1,20,000. So if you make a total, the balance sheet will get tallied, that is 30 lakh both the sides. So here hence with the preparation of balance sheets with the help of the calculation of various ratios, it is very important for 14 marks. Thank you students.